Crack King podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
The Marvel characters. Yeah. They kind of do like a span through time of Earth.
Yeah.
I think I saw Nelson Mandela in there.
All I heard was Wakanda Forever, though.
That was the dopest one. I think you wouldn't understand what was going on until you heard that. And you're like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me catch on. Yeah, oh man, talk about wishing I had a better TV. These graphics were awesome. Man, I was so like, let's introduce some X-Men. Maybe there's some Doctor Doom on there. But
yeah, we already, I know, right?
It's never that easy. It's never that easy.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So they up at the door. We finally gonna...
Now, at this point, I'm thinking this is where either one of their master plans where they're going to start turning. You're going to see one of them acting weird.
They're already acting weird.
I don't know if that they're hatching a plan or whatever plan they've had to get to the end. They're going to unravel something. But we know, later on our Loki, the 2014 Loki is he stays true to himself through the whole thing.
Oh yeah. I didn't understand what all those cracks were all over the place, like the gold. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. That was something. I was, again, with the Doctor Doom thing, I thought there was this magic.
Yeah.
There's some kind of angry magic force that was holding it together. And then we see these statues. That's where I was like, who is this? Where are we going with that?
And here goes the what do you call that stupid thing?
Oh, yeah, that had me going right there. That had me going.
Miss Minutes.
I'm glad I watched it first before doing this because I would want to hear this and just get into it.
Well, YouTube doesn't know we already watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll edit that out.
Yeah, and then this is kind of where I kind of lost the whole Doctor Doom thing was the He Who Remains.
Yeah.
That's a little too over the top. I mean, Doctor Doom can do magic, but not
like that. Well, I always knew it was gonna be the Conqueror. I was just speaking too soon. I just didn't think it was Doctor Doom. I knew it's not Doctor Doom. It's got to be. It's too much time travel for it to be Doctor Doom.
Yeah, this whole episode was all time travel, multiverse.
Yeah,
this guy about as cosmic as you can get.
Yeah, and Doom has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. I love when they throw just even the word Avengers in there or other characters that are not in the show. I don't want to spoil too much, but for Black Widow, they kept all that in there.
No shit.
That talk in there. So, you always felt like you were still in the MCU, even though it was a solo movie.
Yeah.
And one that takes place before Endgame.
Hold on, real quick. I gotta get my power plug. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I like the fact that they were like, that Mrs. Time was like tempting him.
Yeah, in a way, I couldn't tell. I mean, she obviously only works for one person. Right here, Sylvie's not buying it. I can't read Loki at this point, but Sylvie is dead set on just killing whoever it is.
Most definitely.
But right here with Renslayer, we know Miss Minutes is not even working for her either, which is kind of what we thought maybe in the last two episodes.
But she doesn't know what's going on.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
No, she clearly does not know what's going on.
She has faith in whoever's running this. You know what I'm saying? Because and the reality of it is that the TVA is necessary.
Yes.
Or I think so. Sylvie obviously doesn't think so.
I think she just so blinded by pain that she just can't see the bigger picture like our Loki. Our Loki always sees the bigger picture.
Yep. And you know what we didn't get in this episode? I'll go ahead and say it now because we're not going to get it. Is we don't know what Sylvie's Nexus event was.
We sure don't.
I was hoping to get into that.
That's always Marvel, though. You know, they hint at something and they never follow through.
So yeah, you know, and now we have season 2. You see, I found out about this season 2 renewal before watching this, so then I knew, okay, this is gonna leave a lot open. Oh, so you got the timekeepers up here. Who the fourth guy is, I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Were the timekeepers real? Did he destroy them?
They must have been real in some capacity.
Yeah. And we have the Conqueror. He's so comical to me right now. He looks really like the wizard from The Wizard of Oz, and I was afraid of that.
Sure. Well, I didn't expect him to jump in so soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in credit scene.
Yeah.
But I knew that this was the actor that was going to play him. So when this door opens, I'm like, man, this is it.
And you know what? He looks pretty good too, because when I first seen him in Five Bloods on Netflix, I was like, bro, he is not no Denzel Washington, but he can act like a motherfucker.
No, great actor. I think he's the guy and he plays in
Lovecraft Country.
Exactly. Great show.
I just didn't think he was a Denzel looker, but right here he looks really good, man.
I think he has a face that is gonna stick.
Yeah.
That is gonna stick throughout the MCU for the next, however long this character holds up.
They're like flesh and blood. And he's all wiping his nose like he's unbothered by the swords at his back.
So like they're saying, flesh and blood. He's
oh shit, yeah. Oh, look at Sylvie's really trying to fucking kill him, like for real. And he's like, "Fuck you, I'm moving."
He finds it comical.
Yeah, because it's not that easy. He's like laughing at you.
Yeah, she's on a one-way track right now. You can see that Loki is more of.
He wants to know what
he's kind of more curious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as we will definitely know, if you didn't already know, it's cemented by the end of this episode, is that he does love her.
Yeah, oh yeah. He loves himself.
But his curiosity is piqued for sure.
Most definitely.
He's cautious, if anything. Yeah, if this is what it, he chalks it up to be, this is about as cosmic and universal that this can get.
But I like the fact that he told them the truth, and he wasn't menacing, so I didn't understand why they were so on. That's the only thing they see. He hadn't explained yet. Oh my gosh, look at Mobius. Mobius like, hey bitch, you fucked over me.
Yeah.
Fuck over you right now.
This is the Crack King Podcast, a breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
Another man's piece of cake. Shit, that wasn't no fucking piece of cake that last episode.
This is the Crack King Podcast, a breath of fresh air with
right. Yeah, I don't know how often anyone ever makes it back from there. It doesn't seem like it happens, but Lokis are pretty good at it.
Clearly, but shit, nobody comes back from the fucking void.
Mm-mm.
Except for maybe Deadpool.
Yeah. Who knows? That we might see some of that soon.
This is the Crack King Podcast, a breath of fresh air with new
There goes my boo. Hey, boo. What you got going on?
I think you're a little ahead of me, but I can stay up with you.
What's up?
Yeah, so 2018. I wonder if this is before the snap or after the snap.
Oh shit, I don't know. The blip, right? I don't know. What? No one is even talking about the blip anymore.
No, well, that's neither here nor there in this series. But this is 2018 right here. So I guess my whole thing, I don't think there's any significance to that other than just story for Renslayer.
Her backstory.
But yeah, did the blip happen already, or has it happened yet? You know. Yeah, great. What's this actor's name? I meant to look it up.
I want to say Jonathan. Hold on. Jonathan Majors.
Okay. They don't even listen to this Kang the Conqueror yet.
Yeah, no, because he's not the Conqueror. I don't know who this guy is. You know, we don't even know who he really is in the universe. You know.
Sure. They got a Marvel wiki up, but nothing yet. Conqueror and He Who Remains, but that's about it.
He Who Remains. I think that's what they were calling him this episode, huh?
Jonathan Majors, yeah. Great actor.
He is.
I'm glad they got him in on this.
I'm glad they have a major villain that's gonna span the whole phase. And I'm gonna just say that's of color. You know.
Yeah, of course. It's great. Inclusivity. I mean.
Yeah.
For me, it's just that the acting, man. It's awesome. Whoever they put in there, I think they picked a great choice.
Well, I said of color. I mean, we did have Thanos, and he was like the color purple. I mean, just
No, and human too. This isn't his variant that is all decked out with his helmet and time travel suit. And it's you compare him to Thanos. If this truly is the next big bad guy, compared to Thanos, we only had snippets of Thanos throughout the first 23 movies before he finally came.
Yeah.
And now we're bringing him out in full force for Kang, and this is awesome.
And on top of that, on the TV show and not in the movie. That's what really, because I didn't think they were going to show him. I was really surprised at this. I didn't think they were going to show him until like in a major movie.
Sure, or even just in maybe the post-credit scene of this episode. Something. It makes the TV show feel so cinematic.
Most definitely.
You know?
Very much so.
Again, not a whole lot of action in this episode.
No.
A lot of talking. It's a lot of this scene. To me, kind of watered down his acting because he just had to keep going with the madness of his character.
Yeah, he had to stay with that character. I kind of like the way they flushed this out on the TV show and not in the movie. Whereas in the movie, I just want action-paction.
Sure. I'm gonna guess and say that when they do the movies and the other versions of his character, it's not going to need this for introduction because some people don't watch the shows, they watch just the movies.
Yeah.
So now you think about it, if this is one version of him, this is one variant, and they're going to kill him off later in the episode, then he only does the acting of this variant here.
Yeah.
So if we see him in other content, he's going to be doing a whole different type of thing.
You think he's gonna do he's capable because he's great. You think he's gonna do if there's more than 5, he's gonna be different personalities in all 5, or they're gonna be all multiple man? Like when they're fighting him, is there's gonna be a bunch of them? I don't know. Man. I'm really excited.
I don't know. They might not even bring in a lot of them. We might
I
this
don't
be
know where
the
she
last time
going.
we see him for a while.
Where's she going? She's packing up and going
that
where?
I don't know, and we don't get any more answers to that either.
A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
Eons of friendship.
This is the Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
I like this scene, man. It's like it's almost real. Like they're like real co-workers that have been working together forever.
Oh,
You know, and like
even more so.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? There could still be the theory that they are variants of each other.
This is the Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
Yeah, and as you know, as so grand and as cosmic as this can get, the kind of stuff kind of brings it out to a human level.
why is Owen Wilson always getting his ass kicked?
That's Owen Wilson for you.
Yeah, his pride is hurt. She gonna send him back to the void? Oh, yeah, maybe. And it's a no. She not gonna send him back. She's still.
He might not make it back from that one.
Nah, he's not gonna make it back a second time.
Very, very lucky for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to know where she's going to.
Huh?
I'm curious to know where she's going to.
Yeah, she said in search of free will. Like, where the fuck is that?
Now we have I don't think that there are any more series coming out this year. I know there are movies, and they all possibly take place in the past, before
so?
Endgame.
Well,
So
I think the Wasp and the what is it? The Wasp and the Ant-Man. I think that's gonna be. They're saying that's really gonna be the introduction of the villain in that movie. And I think is that next after Black Widow?
No, we have the Eternals. We have Shang-Chi and Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man. Ugh. I hope that Spider-Man is better than the last.
I have to imagine if it's the third and final one, they're gonna go out with a bang.
Multi Spider-Mans.
A lot of people out there are really putting down, and just recently, really putting down the rumor and the theory that the other two Spider-Men are gonna be in there. It's been talked about before, but I've seen articles recently where they're they're really doubling down on that rumor.
Help me out. The 31st century. What is that? That is the future for us, right? 31st century.
Right. Okay, so in the comics, Kang the Conqueror is a descendant of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
No shit.
Yes, and so he is from the future. And his initial attempt at anything is to travel back in time to fix the multiverse or what have you. I love this how they explain the universes stacked on each other.
Yeah. And the war.
The way he makes it sound, from what I'm getting in this scene, is that him and the variants of him are the first to move through universes and meet each other. That's the first time. So he must have been part of a singular timeline.
Yeah. And he was saying they're good. They're like good-hearted. He's saying he's good-hearted.
And so it all started out good.
Yeah. It all started out good. He meeting good versions of himself until he meets evil versions of himself. And are we going to see evil versions of the Avengers? That would be fucking dope.
That would be cool. That would be cool. It kind of be like how this What If show is coming up.
That's probably a link of it. They're gonna have those what ifs in the movie. You know, where they're gonna. You think we're gonna see that?
Sure. Well, I mean, that's basically what it is if you think about it. I mean, what a great time to introduce that show.
Yeah,
I believe it was a show before in some form or fashion, or no, it was a comic series.
Comic, yeah. They were like, I remember when I bought it was what if Gwen never died.
Right,
from
right.
Spider-Man. I remember that was a big one. Did you ever notice like how Spider-Man always is like the catalyst for the transition in these Marvel universes? Like his movie is going to be like a multiverse type thing. Like they always show Spider-Man's like reactions to everything that's going on.
Yeah, and you know I wouldn't say he was the first. I don't think. I mean, I'd have to look back at the history of when the Avengers eventually start time traveling and going through, you know, the multiverse. But Spider-Man is always a huge proponent and all that. I love how he explains the timeline on here. So he's has himself centered around the main timeline. But I'm in agreement with this. I think the TVA is necessary. This is acting right here, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He's conveying.
I'm not even scared of him. I trust him. I don't think he's gonna do anything. He's
good. We're not supposed to be afraid of this version.
Right,
he's a variant. The whole series is about variants, and he's a good variant of the villain. So we're not supposed to. But look at Sylvie. Sylvie's like focused, like a pit bull. She don't care about none of that shit.
I think Marvel has done a good job so far of keeping it from being confusing. But every episode, especially this or like WandaVision, I go into it like, man, I hope I can keep track because.
Well, I mean, WandaVision was so confusing, nobody could keep track with that piece of junk. But
yeah, it took a while it took till the last episode, 2 episodes to understand what was really happening. But as far as the time and the multiverse, it's just like I'm trying to keep it together. But I think I'm doing good so far. I think Marvel is doing good at. Okay, we're gonna throw this in here, but we're gonna just kind of, you know, work it in and not just throw it in your face.
Yeah, they ease you in. The storytelling and the acting for these movies are on a whole nother level, man. I never thought I would see that because, you know, I came up in the 80s. You know, we had The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh man.
We had what did we have before that? You know, we had our own version of Captain America. We had the Incredible Hulk. You know, we had our version of Thor in the TV show, The Incredible Hulk. We had a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was like B actors at best. Shoddy. I never thought I would see the day to see these things realized on TV, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm glad. I think that's the one thing I love about being born in the time I was and coming up the time I was is in the 90s we had the superhero movies, but they didn't catch on and become real until
late 90s.
Even in the 2000s, Spider-Man, the first iteration, well, the newest iteration, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
I would say Blade.
Blade was a good one.
Yeah.
Blade's a hardcore comic fan. I wouldn't say hardcore comic fan.
Movie.
I didn't know about it then. It wasn't until later on in my life that I was like, "Oh, Blade is a Marvel character," and yeah,
he was.
I grew up on Batman
and Robin,
forever.
Batman forever.
I grew up on Val Kilmer Batman.
Nah, I had Michael Keaton. No, really, Adam West. I grew up on Adam West Batman. But we're switching genres. Let's get back to the Conqueror. And he's asking Loki to take his place, which I think is a good fucking idea.
I wasn't on that.
Really?
And even the 2 Lokis, I think, well, Sylvie does not believe him at all, and she doesn't care.
No.
She's not thinking of the consequences, and Loki is.
Because Loki lived a life. You know, he knew love. He knew, camaraderie. He knew he loved his brother. No matter what.
Well, this is not. But that this is not
and
even
Sylvie
that
never
Loki.
had that. Yeah.
But he learned enough and he saw enough, especially of his future, that he kind of caught up with the Loki that we got in Infinity War.
Yeah.
The one that pretty much died a hero, and I think this Loki is mentally caught up on that.
Yeah.
This is where I got lost for a second, but I was interested.
What was it that?
So, if I'm not mistaken, this is a part where he now is caught up with himself and has no idea what could possibly happen from this point forward. I think is what he says, because he wrote everything up until that time.
Yeah, because this is free will. We have free will now.
I think he is in free will mode right now.
Yeah.
He has no idea what could happen. It's all game here.
But you see the timeline splicing. He has an idea what's going to happen. That he will be killed.
Right, he knows that that's gonna happen. Well,
he knows that part, that she's gonna kill him, but the point is, who's gonna take his place? Who's gonna put the plugs in these holes they've just made? Like in the dam. I don't know where I'm going with that. But
well, as you can see, he's I think he said earlier that he's just tired.
Yeah.
He's been there for who knows how long, but I think by tired he means he's just gone loopy. He's ready for a change. Does he go to the void if he dies right now, or how does that work?
That's if he's pruned, but no,
that's
I don't
pruning.
think so.
No, yeah,
reincarnation. He was speaking. He's talking about reincarnation.
Right. Now, does that mean that just another good version of himself will take his place to continue this work? Or in some way, will this version actually be reincarnated? Well, I guess reincarnation is never coming back as the same person, but as someone else. Right? Same memories, idea.
Same memories. It's usually in another body, but not the same person.
Correct. So, another good version of him will attempt to get in that spot, so long as they can correct the timeline. But as we'll see here soon, that we're gonna have to wait to see that.
I like this acting here. He's just using that prop, and he's like, it's almost like he's focusing on that, and just he's a great actor, man. I just can't front.
No, I'm so happy with this choice. I can't wait to see him. They're gonna leave us here with so many questions, and the rest of the content we have coming out this year is not going to justify any of it. Shang-Chi, Eternals. We're not gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get many answers past this point. This is as far forward in time as this the MCU is gonna get for this year.
For now, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna have to find answers later.
Sylvie's trying to kill him, and Loki's trying to tell her, "Hey, let's think about this."
So this definitely trumps my time stone theory that I had a couple episodes back. I guess he has telekinetic powers. I didn't. This is the first time I've ever seen that, unless I missed it in some other movie.
Well, we just seen it. Remember, he pushed the building up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That was the first time I had seen that, and I thought, no, that's I didn't know he could do that.
Yeah, he's definitely more powerful. He realizes how powerful he is now, and he's definitely more powerful.
And again, these shows have really accented the characters and their powers and given them more depth.
Yeah. What does that say about the new villain? How powerful are they going to be? If all our superheroes or anti-heroes are omni level power levels now?
I don't know. Those grand questions are yet to be answered. I mean, we just have so much coming up. It's hard. It's like we know what's coming up, so it's like, how do we even begin to try to answer these kinds of questions now? You know?
I like what he said. He said, Loki tells Sylvie, he said, "You can't trust, and I can't be trusted."
Yes, I like that. I like that because that's kind of true to their characters, simply put.
And with that being said, who's gonna believe him when he goes and tells the heroes and everybody and rings the bell? He might be on his own.
Yeah, especially if he goes back to the time he just left, New York.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna believe him. The only person that I feel like will believe him and really save the day, as always, is the mighty Thor.
Sure. Well, I mean, Thor had confidence in Infinity War because even Loki never made it back to Earth, and he was scared to go back because.
And in Infinity War, he saved the day. Like the war, they were losing in Wakanda until him and Groot showed up.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna be at the last moment, and Thor is gonna get supercharged one more time. Who knows what kind of weapon he's gonna have now? And he's gonna come to his rescue.
Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, they're highlighting the love interest between him and Sylvie, Enchantress. I want to call her because I don't think she's a Loki. She's not a Loki anymore. They're not calling her Loki. She doesn't act like a Loki.
So Mr. Conqueror right here did serving the drinks call them both Loki.
He did call them Loki.
But I think just to keep from confusion, I think the rest of the time they refer to her as Sylvie.
He's telling her right now, he's like, I don't want a throne, I just want to be with you. But what confused me was how they made this big reveal that Loki is like sexually fluid, and then they give him a girlfriend. Like, what does that say to the LGBT?
Yeah, no, but even then, to me, I just like, well, let's see right here. This whole episode, last episode, I've just been crying.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston is very sensitive right now.
I like the whole God of the Outcast name they brought up the last. Maybe it kind of changes. You see,
I didn't even know she still had that SIM pad.
It kind of just like my first thought. Maybe it's the childish side of me is he's just kissing himself.
Quit kissing yourself.
I love how the Conqueror is just looking at them and just really loving this,
because he doesn't know what's gonna happen.
It's probably, you know,
I didn't think she was gonna do that though. I didn't think she was gonna kill him. I really didn't.
No. Well, we got season 2. There's no killing Loki yet.
Well, I didn't think she was gonna kill this version of.
Oh sure. Oh yeah, that's how it's imminent. And he's, man, talk about harnessing the ghost of Heath Ledger. Just this very Joker-esque.
You think so? Yeah, he had a little bit. Yeah, it had like a
I think they just let him go.
Yeah, but I like when he said, "I'll see you soon," and when they see him again, it is not going to be any fucking fun and games.
Now, this is the frustrating part for me is that she doesn't even bother to really grasp what she's doing.
No.
And look, look at her now. Does she
see that? Right?
Is this what she made it all the way here for? Now what? What does she think she's gonna do? Can she go out, look out the window for a second, and see what she's done?
But you could see it on her face when she killed him. That was what she was like. She realized, like, what's now? I've done it. What's next? What is my life gonna be? That really fucked me up. How that timeline? I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous. hundreds of thousands.
They have shown us on the temp pad the timeline.
Hundreds of thousands.
The ancient one had a little magic timeline for us, but this is
crazy. They got my girl B-15
timeline right here.
Yeah,
look at that. That's crazy, man. This is the Crack King podcast.
Fresh air with new kicks on.
I mean, talk about just like doomsday. I mean, but it's even deeper than that. Just the look and the music. The music, I think, is what makes this.
Right. But look at Loki. His realization of, I got a whole lot of more movies and fighting to go, and I lost my love. It's like he has to get ready for war, and he has to get himself together.
You're just a little bit ahead of me, yeah.
What happened?
You're just a little bit ahead of me. I'm making sure.
Oh, I'm ahead of you. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
This is the Crack King podcast.
Oh man, shout out to Tom Hiddleston, man. What an actor.
Yeah, he's awesome.
It's like you can't replace Iron Man. Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. There couldn't have been no one else. Same thing with Loki. Tom Hiddleston is Loki. There couldn't have been, I don't think, anyone else.
All of the main characters you cannot replace.
No, I don't think so.
You can repackage it like we did with Sam. But I love Sam as Captain America, but he doesn't have that sauce, man, that super serum, and it's just making him a footstep. It's just not the same.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, he's gonna face difficulty with that later on down the line,
I like he shows up talking to B-15 and Mobius. They don't even know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, so even the TVA,
don't even know what's going on.
Now, B-15 and Mobius were just up in the main room, and now they're here. So is this the same two?
No, see the ones we just seen that were up. That was the main timeline, and I think she pushed him through an alternate timeline, or she just didn't know because the timeline is so fractured.
Oh,
she thought she was
does that ruin things in the TVA? Is there multiple TVAs now?
Clearly, because the big reveal is Kang the Conqueror. His statue is up.
Yes,
and we see him, and he doesn't look too friendly right there in that statue. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, this had me caught off guard for a second.
Yeah, and it's all over. This whole journey.
I'm just behind you. Yeah, man. They must have, because they've been in this in the library before. They must have shown where maybe that statue was there or wasn't there, or
I don't think so, because we seen the library when he looked at the citadel, when he looked at the main citadel, and it was just the time keepers. It wasn't him there.
Wow. So yeah, he could be in an alternate TVA, and maybe I don't even think maybe she pushed him in there on purpose. It could have just been an accident because of the fact that everything was branching.
Yes,
man, and no post-credit scene.
No, that's what I was looking for, but I guess we gotta wait for the next movie. They're saying, what's up? This is the Crack King from the Crack King podcast. I'm here with Mike, Check, and we just did a live viewing of Loki season 1, episode 6. Help me out with the title.
What is it? I missed it. For all time, always. That is the TVA motto.
Yeah. So, with the series over, how would you rate this series compared to the other two we got?
Oh man, I don't want to say it's necessarily better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision doesn't compare, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, I got to see a lot of cool growth in the characters. We have our first Black Captain America, and rightfully so. I loved how they showed him earning that, and not even so much earning it, but
finally taking up the torch that was passed to him,
and in the right way,
growing into it.
Exactly. And so I had a lot of teary-eyed moments. I liked seeing, Bucky's redemption. But this, as far as MCU goes and progressing the overall story, Loki just did an amazing job. They really touched on the time travel and the multiverses. That's a good setup for the rest of all the series now. I think what we're gonna have for the rest of the year is basically just introducing new characters. Spider-Man might touch on some of this multiverse stuff, but this was definitely a good way to progress. And for me, being just an overall MCU fan, this was the way to go. I think this topped it as far as the 3 series so far.
Yeah. I felt like WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier were like, I don't know what phase it was when these characters were introduced, but it was seen more like real world, like it was really happening like in a real world. Like I don't like to cross comic book genres, but like The Dark Knight, like it felt like it was going on in our time right now. Whereas Loki felt more like phase 1 MCU, like really comic, really fantastic, almost like a fantastic fantasy.
Fantastic Adventures, the original old school comics.
Yeah, and the other ones were just like really real, like they were in your face, real about mental illness, depression, and racism and colorism. With the other series. But I'm not gonna lie, I love Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I really believe Loki was the superior MCU TV show.
Yeah. If you're gonna compare the 3, yes, this definitely. Man, I can't. I have so many questions, but I've said it before. I don't want to dwell.
A breath of fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.